Welcome to the Born for Better podcast, where it's about better health, better wealth, and better self. And I'm your host, Devin Dewan. And today, what I'd like to discuss with you all is why father figures are needed. So, this message is going to be directed to the youth. It can be both young men and young women, but definitely young men. Why father figures are needed. First off, it wasn't just one person that brought you into this world. There was really two. It took two to tango. It took two to make the thing go right. It takes two to make the thing go right. Yeah, it took two. And so you need both energies in your life. The energies I'm referring to are feminine and masculine. You need both energies in your life to some degree because they both serve a purpose. And that purpose is to make sure that they make life better for you than it was for them. And also give you the tools necessary to get through this life. Yes, you're going to have your own journey. Yes, you're going to have your own, issues, problems, setbacks, successes, glory moments, all of that. You're going to have all of that. But both of them with their energies, they're supposed to show you the benefit to both. Now, unfortunately, that doesn't always happen. Maybe the mother isn't present, maybe the father isn't present, and now that kid that comes into the world is at a disadvantage. They're lopsided in a sense. They don't have the benefit of those energies. Now, whether the biological father or mother is missing from the picture, that does not mean that you just cast that child aside. It does not mean that it's just over for that child. It's not. Because they can seek out the right figures, what we like to call in society father figures, to show them how the benefit of masculine energy goes. What can they retrieve from that? What can they receive from that? They can seek out these father figures. Now, I'm speaking on this because I'm speaking from experience. I was raised by a single parent mother, right? There were some things that I wished for that she couldn't give me. And there was things that she gave me in abundance that I'm grateful for. But there has to be that yin and yang, or yin and yang. Yeah, people say it differently, but it has to be that. And what I would come to discover on my journey of growing into a man is I need to seek out those masculine figures, those father figures, so they can show me how to move in a sense. Because honestly, I didn't know. You don't know what you don't know. And if you only know one side of the story, then you're only going to have that to go off of, that information to go off of. You're only going to move like that, right? But when you start to say, I am expressing masculine energy, but I don't know what to do with it. And typically, when we come into masculine energy as younger men, if it hasn't been shown to us how to use it properly, it's typically a destructive force. Don't get mad at what I'm saying, but hey, think about times in your past. Think about times currently where you acted out, you showed out. And that's just, that testosterone, that's you getting riled up, right? But at the same time, there's moments of when to use it, when not to use it, and you have to conduct yourself appropriately when you're using masculine energy. It's a part of you anyway. So let me not say when you're using it, you're always technically using it, but it's just knowing how to use it. Simple as that. And, being able to move throughout this life accordingly. And the suggestion I want to make here is if you don't have that father in your life, that biological father, start to seek out and find men who you aspire to be like, men who you deem worthy. Don't look to your friends, right? Don't look to people on reality shows and actors and actresses, because hey, their job is to simply do that, act. But find some people in the real world, right, in your world, that you like, and I want to be like him. Or maybe it's a quality he possesses and you like it. Well, study up under this father figure. And guess what? You don't have to just have one. You can have several. Study up under them. Maybe it's somebody that you can't necessarily be in their physical presence. Maybe it's someone who's an author and you read their book and you like, man, I want to know more about them. Okay. Do further research on them. Maybe they have some sort of master class. Maybe they have some sort of a conference or more books or YouTube or whatever that you can start to tap into, right? Just find a way to get around the ones who you deem worthy of being called a father figure. And a good way to approach this is with a level of humbleness, servitude, gratitude. Be humble when you approach these people because they're not your biological father, right? Be ready to serve them because if they're going to show you how to use the masculine energy, be ready to help them whatever they need. The law of exchange, put that to effect. And then be thankful, show gratitude that they even took the time to do it because they didn't have to. But make sure you do your due diligence when it comes to seeking out this father figure or father figures. Again, you don't have to just have one. You can have multiple. But do your due diligence. You got to pick the right people. Think about what it is you want to do in your life. Hey, dreaming is free. Dream on. But start to look, for men who are aligned with the dreams that you have. I dream of being an astronaut. Okay, who's in that industry? I dream of being a businessman. Who's in the industry? I dream of being the next, media mogul. Whatever you want to be. Who is in that you deem worthy enough to be a father figure? Find a way to get as close to them as possible. As close to them as possible. And nowadays, with all of the platforms that we have, the YouTubes and the social medias of the world, it's almost the easiest time in history to get closer to people. But before you start reaching all out deep into your network, before you start stalking people on these social media platforms, start again seeking people around you. Maybe it's your barber. And I was cool with my barber. He helped me to cut hair. Taught me a few, tricks of the trade. And we had real conversations. men conversations and those conversations, they meant a lot. I learned from them. Again, I didn't have my father in my life, so I learned from the men around me. Now, before I was intentional about looking for father figures, you just accept any old thing. That's what I did. You accept any old thing. But when you start becoming intentional about who you want in your life, then you say, okay, this is who I want to be around. This is the group I want to be around. And you start to position yourself accordingly. And this is never ending, by the way. You know, don't just think, okay, well, I got 1 and 2 father figures. I'm okay. I'm good. No, as you continue to grow and evolve, you're going to find more. And again, you're going to approach it being humble, ready to serve, showing gratitude. Because you can learn from different men. As long as they embody the character in which you want to have. Now, you can seek out the wrong people too, right? You can seek out degenerates of society if you want. But understand that the life that they lead, if you lead it too, you will have to accept the consequences of that. All right? Just as if you seek out the character of a strong father figure who is a very successful individual, you're going to be also reaping the benefits and the consequences that come with that too. So, you know, you choose. For me, I chose the latter and I continue to choose the latter, and I will suggest you do the same. But it's important because let's talk about what happens on the other side of this. When you have men who are not upstanding and they're around children, they verbally abuse them, they physically abuse them, they ignore them, they don't instill anything into them most of the time because they don't have anything instilled into them. So you can't pour nothing in somebody that you don't have yourself. So they can't do these things for the youth because they don't have it. They do not possess it. They have not sought out any of it, and they don't care to. So do you want to follow somebody like that? Probably not. Probably want to follow some people who actually are about something in life. They're moving in their purpose, right? They're making waves. They're making change. They're making impact. Probably want to follow that. And they're out there. And they the movers and the shakers. You know, you want to rub elbows with them, shake hands, get in the room, have those conversations. A conversation can change your life. You know, I always used to have this one father figure. He was actually a customer of mine in a job way back when, and he would always come in, young man, what have you learned today? What are you doing today? And he would always have, you know, some sort of jewel to drop, some sort of nugget to plant in my head, right? He was always just giving me wisdom. And then, you know, there's another father figure who always checks on me every now and then. You know, and if they're not that much older than me, I call them big brothers. It's okay, find you some big brothers too. So this would be my big brother, and check in with me from time to time. Hey, you good? Everything's okay? Wait, man, tell me what's been going on. And we had that back and forth, and through that conversation, they may impart some wisdom on me, right? Or they may challenge me to be better. That's important. So I'm telling you, young men, heed this advice. Find you some father figures that are about something, that are going in the direction that you want to go in, and they can actually guide you. Because here's the deal. You need structure you need direction, and you need guidance. We wasn't meant to do this life on our own. None of us were. That goes for men and women. We wasn't meant to do this life alone. Now, you may have had the guidance piece. This is me. This is how my whole life went. I had the guidance piece, but I didn't have the structure, the direction. So I had to go bump my head a one of many times to figure out where to get that structure and to point myself in the right direction. Save yourself the time, the heartache, and the pain, and learn to find direction. Seek out that guidance and find some structure sooner than later. It's just going to make your life. It may be hard in the beginning, or may seem or appear hard. Just keep going down that path. It gets easier. It gets easier. And what I would say to, young women, if they are listening, you want to get around a father figure as well, because they'll show you how to move around the vultures, right? They'll show you how you should, first of all, how you should be respected, but also how you should be protected. They're going to show you these things. They're going to show you, hey, this is when the person is just running game on you. This is when a person actually means what he say. He's telling you this and he's showing you this. Like, this is what you want to look for. They're going to position you in such a way to where exactly what you need to look for that will add value to your life. Because just as men need masculine energy throughout the rest of their life, women do too. Again, you need the yin, the yang, the yin yang. I'm still trying to get it right. You need both. And so they start to show you, hey, this is the character of man you should be looking for. He should hold this type of energy. He should do these type of things. But they teach you how to avoid them pitfalls, right? Avoid getting yourself into situations where you can get hurt. They teaching you this. At least they're giving you the knowledge, right? And that's what you need. Just on the flip side of that, while they're teaching women to avoid putting themselves in certain situations that will get them hurt, where they're unprotected, they're teaching young men how to protect themselves and others. All of this stuff is important to get through this grand thing called life. It's important. Showing women what to do for a man. Because, only a man knows what a man needs. And showing that to say, this daughter or daughter-in-law or, stepdaughter or this daughter figure, showing her that. Also showing young men how to take care of business. This is how you need to, spend your money, invest your money. This is what you need to be thinking about. This is how you make sure that the household is provided for and taken care of. All this has to be. It has to be had. So, again, this definitely is a podcast for young men and women, but definitely young men. Yo, your life is valuable, right? Just because you may, have a parent missing does not mean that your life isn't valuable. But you have to value yourself, put yourself in those positions around people who can actually help you to be a better version of you, to move you forward. You don't have to be stuck in the position that you were born into. You don't have to be stuck. And shout out to the people who not stuck, or matter of fact, shout out to the people who were stuck and they decided to made a 180. They flipped and they start moving forward and they start progressing, they start doing their thing. That's what life is about. Do your thing, do it well, do it to the best of your ability. Get around those right people, because there's people that's gonna hold you back, and that's because they don't have their whole stuff together. Or you don't even have to have it together. You don't have to have it all figured out. Nobody, I don't think, really has it all figured out till you probably put yourself through the ringer. But be willing to figure it out. Put yourself around people that's just willing to figure it out. If they're not willing to do that, then what the heck are they doing? What are you doing? What are we all doing? So we got to figure it out. So just understand that in this life, you need both energies. Both energies will provide a great benefit. So seek it out. With that being said, remember this: do better as an action, be better as a lifestyle. I'm your host, Devin DeWan. And until next time, take care.